Hey guys, welcome back to another one. So we have just won the war. Uh, so let's go join the others by the campfire. So I ended up deciding to delete my Rigmor of playthrough. I'm gonna remake it.
Need something?
So at the time I didn't really have a good mic at all, and there were a couple things. But I'm gonna remake it after this playthrough here. I'll probably do something like an Oblivion playthrough or something.
Greetings and salutations, my friends.
Tish! Hey girl, what's up?
I saw the guild during the battle. I didn't get the chance to thank you.
No need, my friend. I feel invigorated again. It's been some time since I had a purpose to do anything at all. Lady Rigmor needs my service, just as her father offered his, to help us fight the Dominion to a standstill during the Resistance. I feel obliged to return the favor.
Did you know my father, Aemon?
Not personally. He arrived later in our struggle after the Empire betrayed us. The war had been raging for some time. If only Mead had kept his nerve after Narafin was defeated at the Battle of the Red Ring, maybe we would not have had to fight another 5 years alone. I don't think the Dominion accounted for the fact we would never surrender.
You mentioned the March of Thirst back at the guild. What happened after?
After we crossed the desert, we regrouped in Skaven. At this time, only Hagath held out from Arenalia's forces. She followed us over the desert, and by the time she made camp outside the walls, Decianus had arrived with his legion and volunteers from High Rock, Skyrim, all over.
That must have been some battle.
That was a bloody day. Although we lost the city, it was the beginning of the end for Arenalia. By the time Mead had won in Cyrodiil, we had retaken Skaven and pushed her all the way back across the desert.
Then?
Then the White Gold Concordat happened, and the Empire abandoned us to the Dominion. They thought they could get away with murder, and began to ethnically cleanse the South, consolidating their gift from Mead. That's when your father arrived, Rigmor. I have never seen such ferocity. Just the sheer size of the Nords, all berserkers. We also had a lot of former legionnaires too, Bretons, Awesome, and we fought on. Then one day, they were gone. It was over. The war had given me a purpose, and now I had none. I was just a lordless knight with nowhere to call home. The rest is, how should we say, history.
What will you do when this is all over?
I have decided to return home to Rehad. Hammerfell is calling. Who knows what awaits?
So what's your story, Tish?
My story. Man. You ever heard of Hrothgar? Well, it's a small part of High Rock in the mountains there. We lived in a small village under the shadow of Mount Sorrow. Our tribe was the Gorlana. But it got swallowed up along with most other small tribes into the bigger ones during the squabbles. That's my name, Gorlana Tish. The chief was looking for young wives and had his beady eye on me, so I up and left overnight. My mother was sleeping, but my father caught me at the door of our hut, all set, ready to go with my pack. He knew. He never said a word. He just grabbed my face in one hand, lifting me onto my toes, and with his thumb, drew a line from my nose down over my lips. He let me down, then placed his hand on my shoulder with a slight nod. Man, I can tell you that was intense. You see, we don't do that kind of lovey shit most men and mare do. No way. But it meant everything to me. Sometimes I wish I could cry like you milk drinkers. I was quite young then. Had been down the mines for most of my childhood. I'll never forget, every morning when I woke up, the very first thing I would do is just gaze up at that mountain and watch the clouds kind of get wrapped around it. Yeah, Mount Sorrow. I'll have to go back there someday.
What about B? You know, Bersalak. How did you meet him? Was it on the battlefield?
No, nothing like that. It wasn't long after I left the Blades.
You were in the Blades?
Yeah, but I don't talk about it, okay?
I wonder why.
Okay.
Hey,
Tell the rest of your story, Tish.
I was crossing over the border from here, from Cyrodiil into Skyrim. It was quite high up in the Jarl Mountains, and man, it was so cold. A storm was whipping up the slope, and I knew I had to get to shelter before nightfall. Find a cave, or an overhang, or I would freeze to death. So I kept going. All of a sudden, I saw a clearing, away over the gorge. I knew there had been a recent avalanche, but I had no choice. I followed the fresh snow, and after a while, my way was blocked by a crevasse. It wasn't too wide, but I figured too wide for a jump, so I followed it looking for a narrow gap. I could see one up ahead. Man, it looked like I was getting lucky. But as I got closer, I could make out what looked like, I don't know, some kind of debris. But there was this guy. No kidding you, Rigmor. Upside down, wedged in this hole. This crevasse. With his legs sticking out into the air. I mean, he looked frozen to death. A block of ice. There. Hanging upside down in this crevasse. Thank my lucky stars, a way over. So I took a running jump, landed on his fat ass, and propelled myself out of the hole. Oh my. But by dying, this poor guy had saved my life. I couldn't leave him like that. I mean, normally I wouldn't have hung around, as I wasn't quite out of the danger zone yet. It was getting dark and the wind, it was like howling. So I lassoed this guy's legs and pulled his body out of the hole. It was the least I could do, right? I mean, he was gone, frozen stiff. Even parts of his beard snapped off in my fingers. And even under all that ice, you could tell the blood had rushed to his head, which looked like a giant fucking frozen plum. I didn't have time to stay around, or I'd be joining him. So anyway, sometime later, as I was coming down the mountain, I ran into about 8 or 9 bandit marauders looking for a quick septum. But they weren't going to take me without a fight. That's what we Orsimer do. We fight. So I took a couple out, but these guys were getting the better of me, tough bastards. I was going down and I was shouting, "Come on, you motherfuckers, give it your best shot." I took a blade in the guts. Uh-oh, I thought. I'm done here. Then I hear this roar. It was like over my shoulder. And I was like, hey, this has got to be a bear or something, right? I was blacking out. My sword slipped from my fingers and I was going down. And for the first time in a long time, I felt warm. It was weird. I was face down in the dirty snow. I mean, I could taste it. While all this shit was going on like a blur all around me. I just wanted to sleep. I said my last words with an oath to Malakath. Take me, Malakath. Let it be known I fought and died with honor, and look favorably on my clan as worthy of your gratitude. I woke up. Only the gods know how long I'd been under, but there, on a rock, sat this big fucking guy. No shit, Rigmor. The same guy I had pulled out of that hole with the frozen plum head.
No way.
Saved my life, like I saved his, I guess. I haven't been able to shake his fat ass since. He's like fucked up in there somewhere. Maybe it was all that time hanging upside down with his ass sticking in the air. I don't know.
Oh my days.
I mean, I should have died back there. And I was in a really bad way. You know, he took care of me. Stitched my wounds, washed and dressed me, fed me, and even took me for a shit when I needed one. And has never, to this day, uttered one single word.
That is quite something, Tish.
So yeah, I've been looking out for him ever since.
Do you have any regrets?
Hey, I better be getting back. B's not too good if I'm not there when he wakes up. And we don't want that, right?
Thanks, Tish.
No sweat, Rigmor. See you around.
Hey, we'd better get some rest too.
Yeah. I could sleep for 100 years.
Don't do that. That would suck.
Dragonborn, wake up. It's time to go.
You ready?
As I'll ever be. Hey, Eamon. Where's Tish?
Tish has decided to go home, back to High Rock. You might be able to catch her if you hurry.
Yeah, I want to know more about, like, her time in the
Tish!
Blades.
Wait!
Hey, girl. What's up?
Where are you going?
Bruma has been good to us. We don't want to outstay our welcome.
Tish, please. Won't you stay?
Rigmor, don't do this to me.
Tish, please. Don't go. You'll always be welcome here. Where will you go?
Look. Me and B gonna head up to High Rock, see what's happening up there. I've got some unfinished business, and talking to you kind of cleared my head a bit.
I understand. No regrets, huh?
One of my biggest regrets in my life was killing all those dragons.
Huh.
Watch out for a trap. Cepheus will be surrounded by his Praetorian guard.
I'll be fine, Quintus. Anyway, I have the Dragonborn. What could possibly go wrong?
If anything untoward happens, I will march my legion into the city in the name of Titus Mede II and give control back to the Council of Elders.
I am sure Blackwell is as good as his word. Thank you, Quintus, for everything.
Don't make it sound like it's the end. This is just the beginning. Good luck, my lady.
Come on, Dragonborn. Let's get this over with.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I turn into a werewolf and kill everyone. I've seen it a million times, but the Imperial City in Skyrim is friggin' amazing. It's cool how they added like the way shrines and everything. Where are you going, Rigmor?
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Dragonborn, wait. What shall I say to them?
I'll represent you. Leave the talking to me.
Well, I certainly won't be marrying that asshole Robert, so check that off the list. The best he can hope for is his freedom. Same with the father. We hold the upper hand in the negotiations, right?
Absolutely.
And marrying the Emperor? I don't think so. All this political bullshit, how do they even live with themselves? They will do anything, stoop to the lowest of the low, at every opportunity for power. That's what really pisses me off. The power doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the citizens, the people of Tamriel. If only I could be a true voice for the people. Do you think that I have what it takes, Dragonborn, to become Empress?
Only you can decide. Whatever you choose, I'm there for you.
But what about you? What will you do, no matter what happens next?
Wherever you go, I will follow, no matter what happens next.
I love you, Dragonborn. I belong to you and you alone, and I'll never stop loving you. Do you believe in the prophecy thing?
I hope it's true, and if there is a child, our child, she will want for nothing.
What will become of us?
Alrighty, let's get this over with. I could take him.
What are you doing? Why are you standing there? Kill them! Blackwell, order your men to kill these traitors!
Hold your swords.
I am your Emperor!
Oh, just kill him, Blackwell.
You! I demand you kill them! You must obey me! You will cut them down this instant! You! Pick up your sword and cut them down! Cut them down, I say! Then I am undone. It wasn't me. I am innocent. It was her, Morag. She murdered the children, not me. You can keep the crown. Here, take it. Please. Quarter. Mercy.
What a puss. That's pretty nasty. Alrighty
The
then.
Emperor is dead. Long live the Emperor.
What the hell is this, Blackwell?
Majesty, whomsoever takes off the head that wears the crown reigns supreme. You are Lord Protector of Cyrodiil and the Empire. take your rightful place on the throne of Dragonborn kings.
Twist my rubber arm.
My lady, after you.
I mean, since I assassinated Titus Mede II, one thrown by right of combat, so technically it's legitimate.
Your Majesty, as Lord Chancellor, it is my duty to protect and serve, and pursue your interests with absolute unwavering ruthlessness. If you would kindly permit me to, and I am sure you'll agree, tie up a few loose ends. We have to nip it in the bud, so to speak. All of them. My lady, you look quite peakish. Are you unwell?
I am with child.
Blackwell, why are you looking at me so judgmental? A little while later. God, they didn't even pick up the body. Are you sure?
Dragonborn, of course I'm sure.
This is the best thing to ever happen in my life.
What? The baby? Or you becoming emperor?
The baby, of course.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Something's not right. It doesn't add up.
Well, I don't want to have the baby here. I want to go home.
Rigmor, it should have been you that become Empress.
You're the last Dragonborn, the rightful heir to the throne. Blackwell said it himself. I need you now more than ever. Please, don't leave me here alone.
Rigmor, I would never leave you alone. Not now, not ever.
Please take me home, Dragonborn. Let's have Blackwell look after things here. If he needs us, he can send for us.
My lady.
Here he is. Ask him. Ask him about what happens next.
Okay, Blackwell, what happens next?
Well, there will be a small interim phase so correspondence can be sent to those that need to be informed, such as dignitaries and the royal houses of Tamriel. They shall be invited to the coronation, which in this case I suggest be arranged at the same time, as Rigmor is now the High Queen of Cyrodiil. But first, we need to protect the integrity of our queen and the child. So, first I suggest Rigmor takes up the name of the House of Mead.
Rigmor Mead? Yeah, right.
It might only be a temporary change, but also a necessary one. Majesty, depending on how we go forward from here, I have another suggestion.
Go on, Blackwell.
I suggest you arrange a marriage at the soonest opportunity. You, as the last Dragonborn, are the rightful heir to the throne. As soon as I heard of your accomplishments, I knew it was fact. That not only were you gifted the Thuum, but also with the ability to absorb the souls of dragons. That you were anointed by Akatosh himself as the rightful heir, before even taking the crown. If you find that arrangement to be impossible for whatever reason, there are alternative ways to proceed.
What other arrangements?
A partnership or friendship ceremony for the child's sake. It would not be binding, and you could both live separate lives, where there is an understanding between you and shared responsibilities, especially if you decide to cede. Or you could cede the crown. Rigmor becomes Empress, and you go back to what you were doing before.
I'll ask for Rigmor's hand in marriage when the time is right.
Understood. My lady.
The Dragonborn and I shall return to Bruma for the time being, and leave you in charge as caretaker. Maybe Titus Mead II will return someday. We will, of course, comply with anything you ask of us.
Of course, my lady. As the former Countess of Bruma, administration will pass to Sigurd. Bruma will, by default, become a royal city and imperial place of residence. There is a small matter that needs to be attended to, but that can wait for the time being. I'm sure both of you need time to adjust to the new situation you find yourselves in. The traitors Leowin, Cheydinhal, and Coral have all been dealt with, permanently, and the houses of Coral and Cheydinhal, for the time being, have passed on to their next of kin.
Leowin?
Leowin is in need of a new count. I suggest Cassius Varon. It is imperative we have someone we can trust, implicitly. His naval expertise would suit the county and protect the Niben Bay, especially as the disbanded bandit army has gone to ground in the border regions of Black Marsh, elsewhere in Valenwood. Of course, Quintus was another option to consider, but with growing tensions in Hammerfell, it would be prudent to have him remain there for the time being.
I couldn't agree more. Leowin is key to protecting the Citadel, especially from the Akaviri launch and attack.
I shall get onto it at once. I shall arrange the necessary correspondence announcing the change of dynasty and forthcoming coronation to be sent to whom it may concern, so expect immediate interest and requests for parley, especially from the Elder Council in exile and the Aldmeri Dominion, who I suspect will want to discuss the restoration of the White Gold Concordant.
Oh god.
Yeah, right.
Lady Rigmor, take this opportunity to relax as best you can. Of course, return home to Bruma, but soon, whether you like it or not, you will need to adapt and come to terms with your new situation. Once the news has reached to the far corners of Nirn, and you address the foreign dignitaries and your subjects, you must respect their expectations and act accordingly, befitting a queen.
Hey, I'm not the Emperor, and I put up with this kind of stuff from Malsam long enough, so drop it, Blackwell.
But you are still the queen. Rightfully so, as the Dragonborn is the rightful heir to the imperial throne by right of combat. I realize this situation is not perfect, or even expected. I am sure it comes as a surprise to all of us, but here we are. It's not the first time in the history of monarchies that things have turned out exceptional. But we must all agree that the recent events that have brought us here are indeed exceptional.
I'm sorry. I'm just worried, I guess. I don't know.
Rigmor, I have been on the receiving end of your diplomatic parley. You have proven, beyond doubt, your ability to lead, to strategize, to stand up, shoulders back, head held high in the face of overwhelming odds. And with the Dragonborn by your side? If it's peace you want, if it's a home to go where you can raise a child in safety, you have a place alongside the Dragonborn to make this real, to make it a success, because no one is going to make that success for you. So please, do take the time to return to Bruma, appoint a lady-in-waiting, and send her here to the palace as to arrange the royal suite. I take it you have dealt with Sir Robert?
Not yet, sadly.
Then I leave his fate up to you. If you will permit me, I have matters to attend to. I shall send word if something important comes up and your presence is required. My lord. My lady.
Dragonborn.
What is it?
How do you feel about all this?
I do feel a little unsure. I can't quite put my finger on it.
You? Unsure?
I'm a victim of this, just like you.
I understand. I really do.
I know, we've been through a lot together, haven't we?
We share a destiny. I know that. We have both suffered from amnesia. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there for me. Been there for all of us. I know I'm not perfect, but you've always been there to carry me when I fall, to put me back together when I'm broken. I would do the same for you in a heartbeat. I'll always have your back, and I want you to know you are kind and stronger than you know. You're my Dragonborn, and I'll protect you always.
I love you.
I love you too.
No?
Can you take me home now?
This is your home. No.
You know what I mean.
Come on, then follow me.
Okay.
Have fun there. I got an idea what to do with Bobby, but I'm gonna wait and make a video specifically for him. It's gonna be wonderful.
Dragonborn, wait.
What is it?
What are we going to tell my mom? I mean, we can't just go back there and say, "Hey mom, guess what? I'm pregnant with the Dragonborn's baby." I'm just worried, I guess.
It's early days yet. No one needs to know just yet. Not even your mom. But I'll let you decide.
But we don't have much time before I start showing. What then?
Blame it on the tacos. No. We will get married as soon as possible.
Dragonborn, are you proposing to me?
Let me speak to your mom first. I want this to be perfect.
Okay, let's go then.
It's Jimmy Ten Fingers.
Rigmor! Mom!
Ingol informed us of Leowin's defeat. There seems to be some confusion regarding the outcome of the, the war.
We went to parley at the Emperor's request. The Emperor, attacked Dragonborn. By the gods, what happened?
I think it's plainly obvious. I take it things didn't end well for him.
Dragonborn is now the Emperor of Cyrodiil and the Empire.
My word.
Your most imperial, royal majesty.
There will be a coronation after the interim phase, so Blackwell can make the necessary arrangements for the coronation. Come on, let's all sit down.
Forgive me, your majesty, as this has come as a bit of a shock.
You got that right.
No shit.
Indeed. But what about you, my lady?
I am the new High Queen of Cyrodiil. Seems there was something in that prophecy after all, Friathoff. Bruma is to become a royal city, so nothing would need change here, apart from my name.
Change your name, child? What do you mean?
Blackwell wants me to change my name to Rigmor Mead before the coronation.
Might I make one small suggestion? As you know, Carice and myself have always worked tirelessly to protect and serve the descendants of Morgan of Winterhold.
Your point?
Morgan, as you know, was the first child of Titus Mead I. You could respect her memory of that by assuming the name of Rigmor Morgan Mead. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Don't you think?
Thanks, Sam. You know, I really like that.
But what I don't understand is, how is all of this going to work out? If Rigmor is the High Queen of Cyrodiil, then your majesty must not only be the Emperor, but also the High King.
I think it's quite obvious.
What of the prophecy, my child? Are you...
Mom, we need to talk.
Rigmor? What is it? Is there something wrong?
In private.
What happened, your majesty? And what about Morag?
We defeated Morag Sethius at Table Mountain with the help of the Thalmor.
And my mistress?
The destruction of the Soul Gem caused a rift, and Molag Bal entered Nagazel.
My word.
I summoned Boethia with the Eye, and we fought and thwarted Molag and his minions together.
The Dragonborn and Boethia versus Molag Bal and his minions. Who would ever conceive of such an epic event? What then, Majesty? I take it you went straight after Leowin.
It wasn't as easy as that, but yes, pretty much.
But you mentioned the Thalmor.
Apparently they were sent by the Council of Elders and the other dignitaries, led by Count Cameus.
I know of him. Of course, I haven't been back to the Isles for many years, but the family is well known. Lelandril, I think. Yes, that's where his family hail from. Very well respected.
What about the red diamond? Did you pick it up?
What red diamond?
Jonte was telling us about... Oh,
Ah, yes. Apparently the destruction of the Bridge of Sighs would ultimately cause it to collapse in upon itself. Didn't Sefri tell you that would occur if the soul gem reached its zenith?
Didn't mean to do that. He only mentioned it would cause a rift. He never mentioned about a diamond.
If the soul gem were allowed to reach its zenith, destroying itself, it would indeed have caused a rift. But also, it would have left behind a black diamond. If it had, an amulet of kings made of it would have been able to reverse the sacrifice of Martin's septim, not only allowing Daedra to pass into the mortal world along with Cold Harbor, but also to banish the gods. Thankfully, you destroyed it in time, but instead of leaving a black diamond, it would have left a red diamond in its place.
So that's what Morag was hinting about. What would happen now if...
An amulet of kings made with a red diamond? We're not entirely sure.
only the chosen one could wear it. Whether the diamond was black or red makes no difference. But we can assume it could be used to relight the dragon fires, and it could result in many outcomes.
Such as?
Banish both the divines and Daedra from meddling in the affairs of mortals completely. Possibly it could equalize the influence of them, but at a reduced amount, strengthening the sacrifice of Martin's septim. It would, of course, be useless without the fulfillment of the prophecy. And we talked about that before, Majesty.
Rigmor is with child.
By the gods! Majesty!
Well, that's all rather inconvenient. What happens next?
Inconvenient? He had planned to get married and have a family. That's what we both wanted. I'm going to ask Sigyn for her blessing to marry Rigmor.
Of course, that would put everything in order and make things right.
No one need know Lady Rigmor is pregnant before the wedding. We keep this to ourselves. Majesty, does Lady Rigmor know what fate awaits her?
Yes, Freathoth, she knows. But I don't want to talk about that right now.
Dragonborn, I'm going to the cathedral to gather my thoughts for a little while. Maybe, I don't know, find some solace. When you're done here, would you come get me?
Of course, I won't be long.
Okay.
Poor girl. So, Master Freathoth, what fate awaits her? Please do share.
Majesty?
No mortal woman has ever given birth to a dragon child and lived.
Well, no wonder the poor girl needs to find solace.
But I have the ears of the god, and they assured me not to worry.
What? How?
It's a long story, Freathoth, maybe some other time.
Of course. Forgive me. It must be a trying time for both of you.
Majesty, let us hope the gods keep their word, for all our sakes. And in the meantime, I'll send that ruffian, that scoundrel, that rapscallion Jimmy Tenfingers to search Nagacel for the diamond. It should still be there, unless...
Unless what?
Unless, of course, someone else knew in advance what would occur. But for the present, perhaps it would be best to speak to Sigrun to alleviate any concerns about the future she might have.
That's what I intended to do right now.
Majesty?
And I think I'm going to leave the video here. If you enjoyed the video, press the like button and subscribe. Peace.
Come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes!